It's social distancing at the chamber, happy hour with Hammer. Garrick Taylor here, joined by the CEO of the Arizona Chamber, Glenn Hammer. Every night we talk about the news of the day. A little bit of news today, Glenn. Governor Ducey, the headline of the press release, Governor Ducey announces next phase of Arizona recovery. We'll go through it, but top lines, what'd you think?
The right move. The data is clear that at worst case, we've plateaued at the moment. I mean, the numbers, the positive numbers is that we're testing a lot more people, and the percentages of people testing positive are coming down. Our hospital capacity is in good shape, including ICU beds. We're contact tracing in a very impressive way in our state's most populous county, Maricopa County. And, it's time to re-energize certain portions of the economy that understandably and justifiably were frozen or slowed down during the first part of this global pandemic.
All right, so the order that we're currently under expires on May the 15th. What the governor announced today kicks in the very next day, Saturday the 16th. Includes ramping up of testing availability and frequency. We've talked about the blitz that we're already going through right now. Implementing tracking of key health metrics, standing up surge hospital capacity, bolstering supply chains. We'll talk in a minute about nursing homes. So, Glenn, on Saturday the 16th, it's not as though all bets are off. We're still going to be adhering to very clear protocols. The
governor made it clear throughout the press conference today that social distancing is still very important. Abiding for places that are reopening or that are opening, it's very important that they abide by healthcare protocols. And so you take pools, for example, outdoor pools. In particular, this is a big deal for a lot of the hotels. The governor was probably the first in the country to say, it's fine for golf to be open. You could do that in a socially distanced, safe way. Well, I'd argue pools are very similar, particularly a lot of the hotel pools. You could distance out the swimming, and it's like jumping into a tub of Purell. I mean, the chlorine and other chemicals kill the virus.
Yeah.
So once in the pool, you're in great shape. And I just think step by step, we're re-energizing the economy, and we're doing it in a way that will be respectful of the safety protocols we need to keep our people safe.
You touched on it. The executive order kicks in the 16th, but some things change as soon as tomorrow. So pools, physical distancing and enhanced sanitation can reopen. Gyms and fitness providers and spas, again, with physical distancing and enhanced sanitation. That goes for all of those items.
Yeah, it's just that it's been very methodical. So, so restaurants yesterday were allowed to open, again, with social distancing and the proper protocols. There's a great video of, I believe it was Chop Shop, about how they've reopened 6 feet. Servers are wearing masks. They're sanitizing, everything on a very regular basis. Businesses want to protect their employees. Businesses want to protect customers, and we're still dealing. Look, we can't sugarcoat it. We're still dealing with a global pandemic with no great cures, although some stuff seems to be making progress, and no vaccine. So we have to be careful.
Right. Also included in today's announcement, an accelerated plan to test all staff and residents of long-term care facilities, as well as individuals within Arizona's prisons. These are those congregate facilities that we've heard so much about.
Extremely important. So, kudos for the Arizona Department of Health for receiving an A+ from the COVID-19 tracking project, which grades all the states on how well they're doing in terms of collecting and disseminating data. I'm also giving my own A+ to Maricopa County. They do a great job every day of giving the latest reports as to what's going on with COVID-19. And something that jumps out on those reports is that in Maricopa County, about 4.5 million people, every death is tragic. We want to prevent every death. So I want to make that very clear. So I'm not saying this to minimize it at all. But here are the facts. 97% of the deaths occur in people 65 and older, and 70% of the deaths occur in long-term care facilities. So particularly for the long-term care facilities, it makes a ton of sense to test and test again and test again and test again the residents and certainly the employees coming in and out. And today it was announced that that area is going to see an increase in both diagnostic and antibody testing. Right. Both are useful.
Something that the governor also announced today, again, kicks in on the 16th. We've talked a little bit about it on this program. Major League Sports can resume without fans. Now, Glenn, you would need the leagues to go along with this, but are you reading into this that the governor is saying if the leagues give the go-ahead, then the games could take place in Arizona?
That's exactly right. And the governor, it seems, has been in contact with the commissioner of Major League Baseball. We've got a great president in Garrick, the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's talked a little bit about the Arizona plan from time to time. Major League Baseball is exploring different options, but it seems that any option would include Arizona in a significant way, particularly if there's a replay of spring training. So Arizona is ready. The governor's order gives the green light for that, certainly. And, again, as for reasons, a number of reasons, we've talked about this, just the psychic value to the entire country to get baseball going again and to hear those beautiful words, play ball, would just be a beautiful thing.
I'll just take it to get something on TV on the weekends. Glenn, what do you make of national critics? They throw up a graphic on Twitter saying that cases are up, they're not down, but you want to clarify some of this stuff.
Yeah, so I'm not an epidemiologist. I just play one on this program. But really what's going on here is that states like Arizona have dramatically ramped up their testing. So as that's occurred, there just are more positives. That is what you would expect. So the more important figure really is what's going on with the percentage of people testing positive. And that percentage is clearly going down. So the states, there's something making its way through Twitterville. So the states that have seen raw increases in cases, I'm going to read them out: Oregon, Arizona, South Dakota, Minnesota, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, West Virginia, and Maine. And I'm sorry, it's tough for me to read it. I got spaghetti sauce over my notes. In these states, every single one of them has a far lower death rate per million than the U.S. average, which is 254.4. Again, the common denominator I would suspect in all of those states is that they've all ramped things up. It doesn't really tell you much more than that. And that's a good thing. We want to see more testing.
Glenn, a final point. A picture going around from the Republic showed a lot of people congregating in a bar, restaurant setting. And I was reminded of something, and Representative Weniger pointed this out. There are always going to be examples of people who are outliers or operating outside the mainstream. You get hit with a lot of questions from reporters about what about this, what about that? Oftentimes, these are not members of the Chamber of Commerce who are involved in some of these activities you get asked about. So your take on the outliers.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for any establishment that's flouting common sense rules that protect employees and customers. This is a deadly virus, and the vast majority of Arizona businesses have been operating or will soon operate in accordance with the best safety protocols. The vast majority of Arizonans are going to respect their fellow citizens and behave responsibly. But not everyone will. And all we can do is make sure that the companies that are using the safety protocols are properly protected. And we've talked a lot about liability protection. So for the establishment, whatever kind, that's packing people in like sardines, they're not going to qualify for that protection. For the vast majority, the 99.9% of establishments that are doing everything possible to keep people safe during this global pandemic, we want to make sure that they're not sued out of existence. They have enough other problems.
Yeah, I think that's well said. Glenn, it was a busy day from the governor's office. Any final thoughts as we go into the new May 16th?
We're making progress. It's really up to each and every one of us, businesses, individual citizens, to do the best we can to be responsible. The governor said something, that was also important, that those who are telecommuting and can continue to do so, that would be encouraged. We don't necessarily, we as more and more things open up with safety protocols, if we could hold back some of those business activities that could be done over the telephone or via Zoom or Microsoft or name the protocol, we should probably do that. This was another good day for Arizona. We're making progress, but we all have to be. What was the show, the Hill Street Blues? What was that line?
Be careful.
Be safe out there.
Yeah.
We've got to be safe out there.
Folks, Glenn just made a reference to a show that went off the air, I believe, in 1986 or so on NBC.
Hill Street Blues.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
For our younger viewers, follow Glenn on Twitter. Glenn, as always, thanks for taking the time tonight, and looking forward to tomorrow's conversation.
We've got a very, very special guest tomorrow.
I know.
Good friend and colleague from Germany. We're going to learn a little bit of something about what's going on in Germany, the EU, and in Europe in general.
Get ready for lots of questions about David Hasselhoff. All right, thanks.
Underappreciated actor. Underappreciated.
Underappreciated. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow.